Welcome to Negotiation on the Big Screen, where we break down negotiation strategies and show how you can use them in your own life. In this episode, we'll dive into the negotiation tactics using Erin Brockovich, a true story about a legal assistant who battles a massive corporation over toxic contamination. But more importantly, we'll break down the negotiation strategies at play. Drawing from the textbook Essentials of Negotiations by Lewicki, Berry, Saunders, and Tassa, 2020. In this episode, we'll cover a range of strategies from BATNA to framing, distributive and integrative bargaining, and even cognitive biases. I'll show you exactly how these strategies are used and how you can apply them in real-world negotiation. Scene 1, Erin's initial request for a job. To start, let's look at Erin's first negotiation, her plea to Ed Macery, the lawyer who represented her, to hire her as a legal assistant. She just lost a court case with Ed as her lawyer, and she's broke. But instead of walking away, Erin decides to confront Ed in his office and demand a chance. She's been desperate for work and finally asks him for a job in his firm. Erin's position here is weak. She has no legal experience and no apparent alternatives, making her BATNA, or best alternative to a negotiation agreement, very low. Her only other real options are minimum wage jobs that would make it very difficult for her to support her family. This is critical in understanding her approach. She has very little to lose. So Erin's negotiation strategy in this moment revolves around anchoring, the tactic of setting a starting point that influences the subsequent negotiation. Erin sets the terms right off the bat by saying she's willing to work for very little money, which gives Ed a reference point when considering her offer. This initial ask, even though it's rooted in desperation, works to set the stage for the kind of deal that she wants, a job. Erin also leverages honesty in this interaction. She doesn't hide her circumstances, making her transparent about her desperation and why she wants the job, and why she would be good for the job. This works in her favor because she's not masking her needs. She's signaling a high level of trustworthiness, which can build rapport and set the tone for any future negotiations with Ed, and also does make her look like a good candidate for a law firm. Through this, she's creating a free flow of information, taking a more integrative approach with this negotiation. Scene 2, Erin's investigation, evidence, and pressure in negotiation. Next, we see Erin making a breakthrough in her investigation of PG&E's contamination of water supply. After gathering crucial evidence, she and Ed negotiate with PG&E's lawyers to try and settle the case. Here they employ a distributive bargaining strategy, which is about claiming value from the other party. Distributive bargaining is also called a win-lose negotiation, and it is used when the parties are vying for the same limited resource. In this case, money. It's a competition model. I win, you lose, ignore the relationship. And that's exactly what's happening here. In this case, Erin's and Ed's goal is to extract as much money as possible from PG&E while trying to avoid a prolonged legal battle, trying to help their clients kind of offset their health issues with money without putting them through the stress of a long legal battle. To do this effectively, they anchor with a strong initial demand, leveraging the extensive evidence Erin has uncovered. By presenting this evidence, Erin is using the concept of anchoring again, but this time with hard facts to support her position. Additionally, Erin uses her wealth of knowledge on this case to her advantage. She knows more about PG&E's legal actions than they do about her case. Well, illegal actions in this case. And by revealing this information at the time, she increases the perceived value of her position. This tactic puts PG&E in a defensive stance, causing them to offer a settlement higher than they would have otherwise. The timing and strategic release of information are key in securing a better deal. In this scene, Erin also uses a few hardball tactics. By emphasizing the severity of PG&E's actions, she effectively uses an aggressive approach to intimidate them. Additionally, she reveals her evidence gradually, using a nibbling tactic to apply consistent pressure. This slow release of information forces PG&E's team to confront the full scale of evidence, making it harder for them to minimize their liability and the amount of money they should pay. Scene 3. Erin and the residents, building trust and collaboration. Another key moment in Erin's strategy comes when she approaches the residents of Hinkley. She's asking them to trust her with their medical records and join a lawsuit against PG&E. Here, Erin moves away from purely distributive win-lose kind of bargaining and leads into an integrative bargaining, which is about creating value for all parties involved. In integrative bargaining, the goal is not just to claim value, but to create it by finding ways for both sides to achieve their interests and create more of a relationship. Erin has to show the residents that their interests align with hers, securing a settlement for their health problems, but also obtaining justice they deserve. By emphasizing mutual benefits, she creates the foundation for a collaborative relationship with the residents. In this process, Erin uses framing effectively. Framing is our subjective mechanism through which we view and evaluate situations. Our frames lead us to the actions we take. She frames the lawsuit as not just about money, but about justice, highlighting the personal stories of the residents to tap into their emotional needs. This is a powerful example of framing, shaping the way the issue is perceived by others to align with your goals. It's about making the other party see the situation from your perspective. Erin also uses active listening here. She listens to the residents' concerns, making them feel understood and valued, which strengthens her rapport with them. By doing so, she is building trust, which is a key part of integrative bargaining, where the goal is to create a long-term relationship and a win-win situation. Additionally, Erin uses MESOs, or multiple equivalent simultaneous offers. Shines here. She can offer legal guarantees. She can't offer legal guarantees, but she gives the residents various options by explaining what different settlement paths might look like for them. By providing alternative, Erin helps them feel in control and shows that she's invested in their well-being. This approach also aligns with establishing interdependence. Erin emphasizes that their combined voices are more powerful than just one person's alone, building a shared goal that unites her and the residents in the pursuit of justice. Scene 4. Final negotiation with PG&E. In this scene, Erin Brockovich negotiates a settlement with PG&E and provides an excellent example of how cognitive biases and power dynamics play a role in shaping the negotiation process. One of the key cognitive biases in this negotiation is framing. PG&E, as a large corporation, initially frames the settlement discussion around their perspective, trying to minimize the damage and avoid a significant payout. They focus on presenting the situation in a way that makes their offer seem reasonable, possibly underestimating Erin's ability to shift the terms. They have an overconfident bias here. They also stereotype Erin because she's not a formally trained legal assistant. Erin counters this by reframing the conversation, focusing not on the financial numbers, but also the human impact of PG&E's actions. She emphasizes the suffering of families affected, which shifts the focus from purely financial to a moral one. This reframing alters how both sides approach the discussion. Another cognitive bias presented in this negotiation is an anchoring bias. They begin with a figure that they feel is low enough to not be contested, but Erin's knowledge of the case and the data she presents forces them to reconsider this initial anchor. By doing this, she's able to push the negotiation beyond their starting point and set the stage for a better settlement. When it comes to the power dynamics, Erin is initially at a significant disadvantage, being a legal assistant without formal legal training. However, she uses her informational power to level the playing field. Her deep understanding of the case details, the facts, and her ability to present evidence strategically gives her the upper hand in this discussion. By aligning herself with the facts, she minimizes the influence that PG&E's formal, more positional power has over the situation. Erin also utilizes personal power. Despite her lack of formal legal credentials, she connects with the human side of the case. The PG&E representatives may hold formal authority, but Erin's passion, confidence, and ability to speak on behalf of the residents gives her a type of power that is not based on titles or resources. Her emotional investment in the case, paired with her persistence, enables her to challenge PG&E's power dynamics and negotiate a better outcome for those she represents. Her peripheral persuasion through commitment to her position and social proof she's gathered gives her an edge. Finally, Erin's negotiation demonstrates how important it is to understand the psychology of negotiation. PG&E's relying on their positional power and dismissing the Erin's influence of the negotiation, falling into the trap of underestimating her. To wrap up, the negotiations in Erin Brockovich offers a masterclass in how to use a wide range of negotiation strategies. Whether it's using anchoring, framing, cognitive biases, or integrative bargaining, Erin demonstrates that understanding both your position and your counterparts is essential for success. She balances hard bar tactics with genuine desire to create value for all parties involved. The key takeaway here is that successful negotiators aren't just focused on claiming value, they're also creating it. They use information wisely, understand psychological biases, and make strategic moves based on their and counterparts' needs. So next time you're in a negotiation table, consider the strategies Erin used. Understand your BETNA, anchor your position, frame the issue effectively, and always look for ways to collaborate to create value for everyone involved. Thanks for listening to today's episode. If you found these insights helpful, don't forget to subscribe and join me next time as we break down more negotiation strategies. And until next time, happy negotiating! Referencing from Chapter 1, I used BATNA, Dilemma of Honesty and Dilemma of Trust. From Chapter 2, I talked about opening offers, anchor effect, distributive strategies, and hardball tactics like the nibble and being aggressive. From Chapter 3, I used mesos. From Chapter 6, I used framing. From Chapter 7, I talked about active listening. From Chapter 8, I talked about sources of power like information and expertise, positional, legitimate power and resource control, and peripheral precision and context, talking about commitment to a position.